Hey everyone, Chloe here and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new to this feminine space, ladies and lurkers and ear hustlers, welcome. So I wanted to unpack and to walk you through a viral conversation regarding a lot of the things that we talk about on this channel, like role reversal and being a masculina and having a dust bunny mindset, or a mindset of lack, and being hyper independent as a defense mechanism, and knowing how to vet all races and cultures of men, and more importantly, working on your self-esteem and your self-worth so that you aren't out here attracting, vibrating, and spending your invaluable time that you can never get back with dusty men and low value bums, which is why you need to subscribe to this channel. But I wanted to talk about this outrage culture reaction to what has become a very common scenario in the dating world. And the dating world is a place that a lot of women love to vent and complain about, as many women of all ages are at their wits' end and are in a state of dissatisfaction and frustration with the quality of men that are currently in the dating pool. But there are ways to become more successful at high value dating, which is why I created my feminine school, The New Feminine, because dating is a very nuanced skill and an art. But I've made videos on both dating and vetting and masculinity that are all very helpful in helping women to step up their womanhood game. And you should check them all out if you want to attract better quality men. Now, the situation where a young lady decides to go out on a supposed date with this creep is obviously very sad, because not only does she make the low frequency decision to put gas in this Dusty's car, but she also goes even further by paying for her own meal, only for this Dusty to have the crusty audacity to suggest that she walk home if she doesn't put out. Now, of course, these are the kinds of situations that tend to happen when a woman is seriously lacking in her womanhood skill set, and when a woman is just grasping for the bare minimum when it comes to the quality of men that she is willing to entertain. Because all women, no matter how fine you are going to attract dusty men, low value men, bums, and losers. But not all women are going to entertain them. And not entertaining them, ladies, and having the confidence in refusing to negotiate with bums is the ultimate difference maker. But nowadays, we are living in outrage culture and reaction culture, and somehow with magical thinking, we somehow expect shame, humiliation, and embarrassment to serve as some kind of surrogate or a substitute or as a teaching tool into helping people get their lives together. And yes, shaming comes with a lot of shock value and entertainment value and will be very jarring to the nervous system. But all shame and humiliation does is often worsen the situation, because shame and humiliation are the most ineffective teaching tools in getting people to understand why they need to grow, evolve, and heal from their inherited generational curses. And yes, some feathers will be ruffled to hear this, but low self-esteem, low self-worth, and not knowing how to vet and not knowing what not to entertain are generational curses. Because entertaining dusty men is learned behavior. Not knowing your worth is learned behavior. And when we repeat what we've been taught and what has been modeled to us, it will definitely put you on a very hurtful path of disaster and arrested development. And when you are repeating this role reversal, I got my own, she got her own mindset, the next thing you know, you'll be in your 30s, your 40s, and your 50s wondering what the hell happened. Now, if a young lady or a woman sees her mother paying her man's bills or paying for everything, or if a woman sees her mother paying for food and gas and paying to keep the lights on, or sees her mother tricking on a man, then what do you think is going to happen when a young girl turns into a woman? She's going to repeat what she knows and what was modeled to her. Simples. She's not going to all of a sudden know how to high value date if it has never been modeled to her. As children are more inclined to mimic behavior than those of us who believe that the truth can be screamed or shouted at children and adults. And if a person was raised in the woods, then why all of a sudden would you expect that person to all of a sudden have all of this high self-esteem, to never make a dating mistake, and to be able to attract high value energy into their lives when they don't know any better. So, unless a person has the mindset and is committed to changing the generational curses that they've inherited and entertaining the finer things in life and getting comfortable and leaving certain kinds of people, mentalities, and places behind, they are more likely to repeat what they know and what has been modeled to them than they are to break it. Which is why these kinds of outrage culture situations where dusties are running amok are going to keep happening. Now, to walk you through the mindset of a dusty is always going to put self-preservation first because in many ways, being predatory and being manipulative and preying on the low self-esteem of women will be the only way that he's going to get laid. And his Jedi mind tricks will often be the only tool that a dust bucket will have in his tool shed. A dusty is not going to sit in the corner wearing a dunce cap. He's going to apply pressure and he's going to use it to have his way. A dusty's job has always been to devalue a woman's value. So for him, going in for the kill or for the carrot is exactly what an entitled predator is going to do, ladies. It's called self-preservation. And I know that no one ever teaches women this, but most men are driven by the carrot of getting access to what is between your legs, as it is a part of their wiring and their desire and their male psychology to control, to dominate, and to conquer. Now, it is a known fact that all women want to be loved, cherished, adored, and in many cases, women want visibility and they want to be worshipped and pedestalized. And yes, it is in a woman's wiring to want to be in the company of a man, but falling into the role reversal trap by trying to pay for love isn't it, ladies. You can't love a man out of his dustiness. You can't inspire a man to be ambitious with your ambition, ladies. Proving your worth to a dusty won't make him like you more, and it won't make you more visible to him, especially not in your feminine. Paying your own way on a date will not make a man respect your hustle, respect your grind, or respect your independence. In fact, your hyper independence will be his red flag sign that you are the perfect setup for a role reversal masculina mule bowl relationship. Now, a lot of women will feel resentful about having to be responsible for screening and having to vet men, and a lot of women will raise the question, well, what about dusty men? And why aren't more men changing? Now, you can argue apples and oranges all day, but your job as a feminine woman is to not only know that you're the prize, as the sperm will always chase the egg, but to treat yourself like the prize by having boundaries, by giving yourself a self-esteem makeover, by doing your shadow work, and by vetting, because the predators and the entitled dusties of the world are not going anywhere, ladies, and they're not going to stop existing. And they are not going to stop wolf preying on the struggle lambs of the world just because you think they should. Ladies, you are the decision maker on how the quality of your love life will pan out. Your job is to vet, and when it comes to dating, your job is to filter out the dusties, the inconsiderate, the narcissistic, the selfish, and the incompetent. And a lot of people love to scream, well, who raised these men? And equally, who are raising these low self-esteem having women? Well, I will tell you, the idiot box, reality TV, a poor family background, Future Hendrix, a destructive family background, misguided manosphere ringleaders, a family with poor values or non-existent values, a family in survival mode, an abusive family. People come from all kinds of dysfunctional backgrounds, so to expect that people will all of a sudden have all of their T's crossed and all of their I's dotted just really reeks of the naivete and the magical thinking of shaming. Shaming doesn't erase personal history, and it definitely doesn't erase the experience of what a person went through on the pathway to becoming an adult. So the fact that a woman would go on a date while paying for her date's gas and paying for her own meal doesn't surprise me at all, because this is what is going to happen as long as women continue to have a blind spot And as long as a woman continues to negotiate her worth with losers, bums, dusties, men of low ambition, red flag kings, and men who cannot afford life. Ladies, the pathway to making better choices will always count on your willingness to educate yourself in the feminine principle, your willingness to break generational curses, and your willingness to treat yourself like the prize. Because a loser and a man who's on the road to being an unaccomplished man will never have nothing to lose and will always waste your time, because a man who is willing to waste his own life will most certainly waste yours. So that is all that I have to say on this for now, and I said a mouthful. Now, ladies, get the dust out of your eyes by getting your womanhood act together, because you are not going to attract a quality man by paying for his time. So thank you, ladies and ear hustlers, for listening. And if you want more content like this, give this video a thumbs up. And please stay tuned for more outrage culture videos to come. And I will catch up with you, ladies and lurkers and ear hustlers, in the next one.